So we're actually going to start in Savasana today. You don't need any props, but if you have a block or a pillow, my block is like my safety blanket when I practice yoga. The series that I planned for this class today is all about gratitude and thanking our bodies for being strong and for showing up today. So when you're ready, come to Savasana pose. Just lie flat on your back. Move my coffee out of the way. And we're going to begin today's class by connecting with our breath. So maybe place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Close your eyes, get nice and comfortable. Make any body adjustments that you need to make to not be distracted. And start to feel your belly and your chest rising and falling with every breath you take. Nourishing your body with the life-giving air that surrounds us. Reminding us that nature and ourselves provides everything that we need to be here today, to be our fierce, courageous selves every day, and to experience this beautiful life that we are so lucky to have on this earth. There's a saying that yoga without breath is just exercise. So as we go through this series today, I want you to always remember with every pose to connect to your breath. Use this beginning Savasana pose to really imprint in your mind for the next hour what it feels like to fill your body with air, to breathe so deeply that your belly expands, to feel the air come in through your nostrils, down your windpipes and into your lungs, and then to feel it go out again, sending a piece of your life force back out into the universe to be shared with others. We'll do a quick 3, 6, 9 breath. So silently in your head, as you breathe in, count to 3. Hold it at the top and count to 6. And then slowly, slowly let it go through your mouth for a count of 9. Repeating that sequence, breathing in for 3, holding for 6, and breathing out for 9. Do one more at your own pace. And then meet me sitting on the center of your mat in a comfortable cross-legged position. We're now all filled up with life-giving oxygen and ready to start moving our bodies, getting ready for Sunday. So place your hands on the mat next to you with your wrists backwards. Your fingertips are pointing behind your body. And lean back a little bit. Tip your chin all the way up to the sky and let your hair fall down your back. Opening up the front of your neck, giving space to your chest, your chin, feeling length in that spot where your voice originates. Letting that length bring kindness to all of the words that you will speak today. On your next inhale, bring your chest back up, your chin back up to neutral position, and place your left hand on your right knee, anchoring your right hand behind your body, and gently twist, looking over your right shoulder behind you. Unwind the whole top half of your body from your belly up through your chest into your neck, relaxing your jaw here, remembering always to breathe. Return to center, and then put your right hand on your left knee, and we're going to twist in the opposite direction, looking over our left shoulder, using our left hand behind us to keep us upright. Feeling this all the way up and down our spine. An unwinding of that life force that drives up from our pelvis, through our neck, and out the crown of our head, connecting us from the ground to the sky. Loosen it all up here. And then return to center. Turn to either side and come to a tabletop position on your mat. Centering your knees under your hips, your hands underneath your shoulders. Breathe in, let your belly drop, look up to the sky. Breathe out and arch your back. Let your forehead drop all the way down, setting the goal that someday it might connect to the front of your hips as you arch your spine all the way up. And breathe in, come back to a dropped belly, raised tailbone, raised chin, squeezing your shoulders together behind you. Exhale again and curve that spine in the opposite direction, pulling your hips into your face, letting your neck go flat, letting your head drop down. Do one more cat-cow like that at your own pace. Loosening everything up here. And then meet back in a neutral tabletop. And raise your right hand all the way up to the sky. See if you can touch the ceiling of the room that you're in. Before exhaling and scooping it all the way under that planted left arm. Letting your right ear rest on the mat, leaning over that right shoulder. This is called Thread the Needle. It's a beautiful shoulder opener. You should feel this all the way down the right side of your rib cage. Keep your butt pointed up to the sky. Let your belly drop. Let everything go loose as you lean over that right shoulder and feel it all opening up. Inhale and come back up. Unwind the same way that you came in, with the hand going all the way up to the ceiling before bringing it back to the mat where it started. Now we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So putting your weight in your right hand, raise that left hand all the way up to the sky. Touch the ceiling. Open up across your waist. And then scoop down, thread that hand all the way through the tented right arm. Left ear to the mat, left temples resting down, left shoulder opening as you twist your body over, feeling it all the way up and down the left side of your torso. Breathe in and bring it up again. We always breathe in when we expand. Breathe out when we come back down. And when you're back in tabletop, sink back into child's pose. Your toes are touching, your knees are wide, forehead is resting on the mat, hands are straight out in front of you. Let your heart melt down here. Let everything go. Maybe rock your head side to side, massaging that third eye, that center of your intellect, of all of the wisdom that you have up there in your beautiful brain. Maybe tent your hands to feel a deeper shoulder stretch, coming up onto your fingertips, walking them closer together in front of your head on the mat, feeling that behind your shoulder blades, behind your heart, feeling that spaciousness and opening back there, allowing you to love yourself, love others, love the world. On your next inhale, we're going to come all the way forward, staying low on our elbows, extending our legs straight out behind us, toenails down on the mat. Look up for cobra. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders here. Your chin is reaching up to the sky. Your glutes are relaxed. Take a minute to notice if you're clenching your back body and let it go. You want to open up the front of your body with this pose. Bring spaciousness from your hips all the way up across your ribs, across your chest, your clavicle, your neck. Stretch it all out there. And then raise your legs up to the sky, bending at your knees. Let your elbows go and try to reach behind you for your ankles, maybe the tops of your toes. Maybe you can just reach them and that's enough. Or if you get a good grip, kick those feet into your hands. Bow pulling pose. Look up with your face, look forward. The harder you kick, the more you'll rise up, the more you'll feel this across your shoulders, like a bow opening up your whole body. Let your knees come back to the mat. Let your forehead drop down. Legs go straight out behind you again. And then position your hands underneath your shoulders, right next to the top of your chest. If you raise your thumbs, you can feel the tips of your front of your shoulders right there. And breathing in, come all the way up this time into an upward dog. Very similar to the cobra that we just did, except instead of being on our elbows, we're coming all the way up in our hands. Remember to release your glutes, release your back body. Maybe let your head fall back to the top of your shoulders. I feel this all across my lower back here. Wiggle your hips a little bit to open it up. And then exhale, come back down, and push back into another child's pose. Toes are touching, knees are wide on the mat, hands straight out in front of you. Let everything melt down here. Breathe in, feel the spaciousness. Breathe out and exhale all of the tension that you've accumulated this weekend. On your next inhale, come back up into tabletop. And we're going to do one more sequence of that cow-cat that we did before. So our wrists are under our shoulders, our knees are underneath our hips, our spine is neutral. Breathe in, drop the belly, raise the chin, look up. Maybe raise your eyes to try to see that third eye in a triangle above you. Breathe out, curl the whole back body like a cat on Halloween. Trying to stretch your forehead to your hips, letting your neck open up here, letting the weight of your head fall all the way down. Breathe in, look up, drop the belly. This is the cow looking up at the sun. Breathe out for cat, curling your back to the moon, emulating the curve that we're going to see in that super moon tomorrow, making your whole body like a sphere. And do one more at your own pace. Breathing in as you look up and expand. Breathing out as you let everything go. Return to neutral and curl your toes under. Push your legs straight up behind you into downward dog. Walk your feet a little bit closer in and bend your knees one by one. Maybe bend both of your knees and push your chest towards your thighs. We're not going to be here long, and this is the only downward dog of today's sequence. Try to imagine one straight line from your fingertips to your hips. If you've bent your knees into your chest to make that line straight, try to straighten those legs, lower those heels to the mat. See what that feels like in your body. And then slowly walk your feet tiptoeing all the way up to meet your hands. And hang there. Fingertips on the floor, touching your toes. Neck long behind you. Inhale, and look up with a flat back. Exhale, fold down again into ragdoll. Opening up the whole back of your hamstrings, maybe bending one knee and the other. In the morning, this can be especially tight. Maybe you grip opposite elbows as you hang here. Sometimes I like to grip the back of my head to really feel it in the whole length of the spine. With an inhale, come all the way up to stand. Hands over your head. Bring them down in prayer position to your heart center. Samastiti, mountain pose. Turn to face the front so that you're facing the camera again. And then raise those hands up to the sky. Look at your fingertips. And fold down all the way from your waist to the floor. Reaching your big toes if you can. Curling your 2 peace fingers around those toes. Your feet can be a little bit separated here to make it easier to fold down. If you've got a grip on your big toes, try to touch your elbows to your knees. Pull in a little bit, flattening your body in half from your hips. Remembering to release your neck, let everything go. Inhale, look up with a flat back. Exhale, fold down again, this time lifting up your toes if you can. Tucking your fingers underneath the top of each foot. If you're super flexible, your toenails will be touching the crease of your wrists. If you're less flexible, just imagine it in your mind someday. With repetition, with practice, you will someday get there. Our bodies are flexible. If you've got the grip, try to straighten each knee, each leg, and feel this as your head sinks down all the way along your whole back body. Inhale, release your hands from underneath your feet. Come all the way up to stand again. Hands to heart center and hands to your side. Look down. Make sure your feet are about 2 fist widths apart. And with an inhale, raise your hands up to the sky and sit down into a chair pose. Sinking your butt behind you, trying to keep your chest up. Your fingers, your hands are at a diagonal line coming out from your shoulders. Gaze at those fingertips as you sink your hips down, as if you're sitting in a chair. And then bring your hands into your heart center, staying in that chair. And hook your right elbow over your left knee. Hands still touching each other in prayer position. You're looking up over your left shoulder for a seated chair twist. This is a beautiful stretch for the underside of our arms. I feel this from my elbow to my armpit, from my armpit to my hip. Inhale and come back to center. Resituate yourself in your chair and then go to the other side. Hooking that left elbow over the right knee. Looking up to the right. Sinking down with the butt. Feeling it from the left elbow to the left shoulder. And then exhale and just let everything fall over those feet. We're going to turn our feet now to the back of our mat, coming up to stand. Walk yourself to the back of your mat, looking forward. With your hands on your hips, step forward with your right foot into a nice lunge. Send your left toes out at a diagonal and sink down, bending the right knee, opening at the left hip. When you're down in a good lunge, raise those arms up over your head. Warrior one. Let your front of your neck open up here. Try to look up at your fingertips, get a little bit of a back bend. And exhale, come out of it, hands to your hips. Now open your arms so that your right hand is in front of you, your left hand's behind you, your hips are pointing to the left, your right knee is bent, warrior two. The key here is to have both of those arms at the same level. Strength is coming up from your grounding, from your pelvis, straight up through the top of your head. And exhale, bring your elbow down to that bent right knee, or maybe to the floor. Here's where I like to have a block to hold on to with my right hand inside of my right foot. And then open that left arm up to the sky. Big open across the whole body. Almost one straight line from your right fingertips to your left. Inhale, come back up into warrior two. And then tiptoe your feet so that you're facing the other side of your mat. Your left toes are in the front, your right toes in the back. Your right toes are pointed a little bit out to the diagonal. Left foot straight forward, hands on your hips. Bend that left knee and sink down into that lunge position before raising your arms straight up to the sky, warrior one. Try to look up to those fingertips. Little bit of a back bend here. And then exhale. And open it up into warrior two. Left arm out front, looking over the left shoulder. Turn around with your head and just be sure that your right arm is at the same height behind you. The center of your body from your pelvis up through the top of your head is one straight line, like there's a big cross in the middle of your body. And then lower that left elbow to the left knee. Right hand can come to the hip as you set up. Maybe the left hand reaches down to the floor or to a block. Front left knee is bent. When you feel strong and centered on the floor, see if you can open your right arm up to the sky so that there's one straight hand, one straight line from fingertip to fingertip. Using your left elbow to gently push that left knee back a little bit, using it for traction. And then cartwheel forward with your hands and come to sit on the floor with your legs straight out in front of you. The whole rest of the class is on the floor. You guys have made it through the hardest part. But stretch your legs straight out in front of you and shift your butt out behind you, maybe using your hands to move that fatty part out of the way so that you're sitting right on your sit bones. With With a deep inhale, reach your arms straight up to the sky above you. Capital letter L. Exhale and fold forward over those legs. This isn't about stretching so much as surrendering. So if you're not reaching your toes, that's okay. The goal here is to try to think about that forehead someday resting on your knees. Maybe you just place your hands to the side of each leg, sitting there next to the calves, facing up in receiving position, as you let your whole top body drip down over your bottom half. Taking a few deep breaths in and out here. We just warmed up our whole insides. Now we're going to let that simmer for a little bit, wind it down. Inhale, come back up and scoot your butt forward just a little bit, leaning back so that you're balancing on those sit bones. Try to raise your legs straight up in front of you. This is bow pose, Navasana, a gentle, gentle core strengthener. If you can, reach for those toes with your hands, balancing like a wide capital V on your back body. Remembering to breathe. And then letting everything go and coming to lie flat on your back again. Tent your knees up in front of you. Feet on the floor. And just shift them side to side. Releasing those hips that worked so hard in those lunge positions we did a few minutes ago. Come to the center, and from those tented knees, raise your toes straight up to the sky. If you're near a wall, you might rest your legs against a wall, or you can just float them up in front of your body like a capital letter L, letting all of the blood that you've nourished in the stretches today flow back from your toes, across your feet, through your ankle joints, down your calves, picturing them swirling around your kneecaps, coming down your thighs, into the center of your body, your life force, where everything originates. Exhale and hug those knees into your chest. Rocking side to side here. Give those knees maybe a little circle in one direction. Circle in the opposite direction. This is called the wind relieving pose. It's great for when you're feeling a little bit bloated or gassy. Nice compression for transverse colon. Keep the right knee hugged into your body and let the left leg go straight out in front of you. Hug that right knee in just a little bit deeper. Wiggle it side to side against your rib cage. And then lower it to the left side of your body, using the hand to guide it to the floor, letting the right arm stretch out to the right, maybe turning your head to look for those right fingertips. Untwisting your body like a corkscrew. If you recall, we did something very similar in the beginning of class. We're unwinding it all again as we wind down our class today. Inhale, hug that knee in one more time. Exhale, send it straight out to meet the left on the floor. And then inhale and bring the left knee into your chest. Give it a good hug. Give it a couple circles to the left. Tiny little micro circles, feeling it in that hip joint. And then reverse direction and circle to the right. Now with your right hand on your knee, your left arm stretched out to the left, gently guide that right knee to the floor on the right side of your body. Looking over your left shoulder, twisting everything out here. Your right palm can be facing up to the sky in a receiving position, receiving all of the life force that we've given to every bone in our body today. Breathing in, breathing out. On your next inhale, bring it back in to your center. Give it one more hug and then send it straight out to meet the left. Now bend both knees and bring your soles of your feet to meet in a butterfly position on your mat, letting each knee fall down to either side. Maybe gently place your hands on your thighs to encourage that opening across your pelvis, across your hips, your thighs. Maybe placing one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. We're going to do a few more rounds of that 3-6-9 breath here. Try to bring your consciousness, your focus to the breath, and forget about those hips. Let them just fall away. Let them come to their own blossoming and opening as they lie open to either side. Breathe in for 3 breaths, 3 counts. Pause and hold it at the top for 6. And exhale very, very slowly, counting to 9. Feeling your belly rise as you breathe in for 3. Feeling all your thoughts abate as you hold for 6. When we hold our breath, we literally can't think of anything other than the breath. And then gently whisper it out of your body on a count of 9. Feeling that spine sink back down to the mat, letting everything go. Do one more here. Breathe in for 3. Hold for 6. And exhale for 9. Maybe do one more at your own pace. Imprinting this 3-6-9 breath onto your consciousness, tucking it into your mental toolbox as something you can always come back to center yourself. Remembering that when you pause at that 6 count, holding your breath inside of you, It's like a magic key to turn everything else outside of your body off and to just be with you. When you're ready, you can stay here if you'd like, or extend your legs out straight. Place your hands to the side of your body and come back into Shavasana pose. You've made it through this whole sequence today. You've lit a little fire inside of your center of your body. You've turned on the energy, got a bit of a boil going there. And now it's your turn to soak up all of the benefits of that hard work. So as you lay here, thank yourself for showing up today. Thank yourself for all of the hard work that you're doing in your life. All of the healing, all of the centering, all of the compassion that you give to yourself. That love that we find inside ourselves is unconditional. We have the power to always love our own hearts and our own bodies. We just need to remember it. As you lie there in Shavasana, I have a brief little poem that I'd like to read to you to close out today's class. It's from Young Pueblo, his book Inward. And this poem is called You Are a Healer. I truly believe that all of us who are here today are healers of ourselves. Close your eyes and try to focus on my voice as I read this beautiful poem. It may have taken a long time, but in the end, it did not matter. After much healing through self-observation, she now had strength. She now had courage and the wisdom to wield her new magic with virtue. No longer did she run from her pain or her troubles. No longer did she allow delusions to capture her mind. No longer did she doubt that her greatest healer she has ever met is her own unconditional love. You are a healer. When you're ready, come back up to your cross-legged position in the middle of your mat, returning to where we began this class today. Getting nice and comfortable and upright again, waking up to the Sunday that we still have ahead of us. And bring your hands to your heart center in prayer position. Slowly let your chin drop down to your chest, looking inward and recognizing your heart, recognizing your belly that filled with breath, that processed it in and out, recognizing your feet that grounds you down into the earth where you sit today. And then with your next inhale, feel that life force come all the way up in the opposite direction, from your seat, through your belly, through your heart, across your neck, nourishing your vocal cords. Everything you speak will now be nourished with the honey of our efforts today. Up through your head, passing your third eye, and out from that crown chakra, shining up to the sky. We have a light within each of us, and it's our responsibility to tend that gentle flame, to keep that light shining. I thank you all for joining me today. The light in me honors and sees the light in each of you. Namaste.